Frank.
Hey, we're alive.
Yeah. How are you, bud?
I'm doing great, Scott. I'm in Las Vegas. There's the view from my hotel room.
Look at that, man. That is
That's
just awesome.
that's the Mandalay Bay pool down there. It's famous.
Wow, very cool. Yeah, and you got a House of Blues in Mandalay Bay. You're pretty familiar with that place, aren't you?
Well, I should be now. We've done two visits here. One in March, and now we're in the middle of our September October residency, and I think we're scheduled to come back next year. I mean, our fans are loving it. They love flying to Vegas and joining us here for this celebration.
It's
It's really cool.
it's great, man. I keep hearing about the Sphere there too. You been to the Sphere? Have you checked it out?
Eddie Trunk, I've got his shirt on here. I want to
Yeah,
shout out to him.
we love Eddie.
Eddie telling me all about it. He went to the U2 show there, and
Yeah.
it's freaking spectacular from what I hear. I think Tesla's going to probably perform there. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man, I can. Yeah, hey, that can happen, man, for
uh,
sure.
5,000 capacity, right? That's,
Yeah.
that's such the coolest venue. When you're coming in on a flight landing in Las Vegas at night, you see this giant globe in the middle of the strip.
That
It's pretty,
is,
but Las Vegas is awesome anyway. So
yeah.
we're going to be back next year. If people that are watching your show there, if they're not here this year, we will be here next year. I'm looking at the calendar.
I love it, man. That is good news. That is good. I always wanted to go to Vegas, never been there. I'm a Chicago kid. Been a lot of different places, but my wife has no desire to go to Vegas. Well, we're gonna do it though. It's I look at that view and I think about, your residency, and I think about all the great stuff that happens in Vegas. You gotta go, man.
There's so many cool shows here. These residencies. The House of Blues is a killer venue. The Mandalay Bay is a really cool getaway place. But you can go see magic shows. You can go see David Copperfield, Chris Angel. There's all kinds. There's a Beatles tribute show here. There's all kinds of stuff to do. So hopefully your wife will change your mind. How long have you been married?
Oh, 32 years in December.
Well, heck, man, then you get a pass, bro. You can get one of your buddies and go.
Absolutely. She'd be all for that, I'm sure.
Yeah, she'll want to get you out of the house for a week.
Definitely. I love it, man. Hey,
Yeah,
happy birthday, man. Yesterday celebrated a birthday. That's great, man.
man, I am happy to be alive. 57 years old. I can't complain. Even though I do tend to complain sometimes, the aches and pains a little bit. And
I hear you.
life, a lot of ups and downs. But right now, I should not complain about anything. Tesla is doing really well together as a team. Um, my personal life is good. I quit doing drugs and alcohol a few years ago. I'm feeling much better for it. I'm dealing with life, and life, for the most part, is pretty dang good.
Yeah, that is so great to hear, man. It really is. Man, it was about 29 years ago I saw you for the first time. That's some longevity there, man. It's awesome. I think about Tesla and music and everything you've done with the band, and the way to keep a band running like that is extremely difficult. I've seen a lot of great bands, just they just don't make it this long. What's the key to that longevity? You guys have been through a lot. It's still a lot of the same lineup that was there at the beginning. There's family, there's kids, there's drugs, there's the business, all of that stuff. How do you keep it all together? What's the secret of your longevity?
Wow. Well, you're absolutely right. I will even just say, even on a local level, I mean, I try to help local bands and friends of mine for years, and nine times out of 10, they always break up. and they never last, even on a small local level.
Right.
And I look at so many great bands that have come and gone that were huge influences to me, in the 70s and the 80s, and that just never stuck it out. If you're asking me, what's Tesla's secret? First and foremost, our fans are really loyal and they keep coming to the shows. That number one, we're able to still sell tickets. Number two, the songs that we wrote together with Jeff Keith, our singer, and the way he wrote those lyrics, mixed with, my contributing different styles within our music, not just one style. Like I've incorporated some country, some classical, some metal, some blues. And Brian Wheat, the three of us, JK, Brian Wheat, and myself are the original members, the core triangle, we call it there, that have kept this machine running through lots of ups and downs, man. I mean, we've been through a lot of ups and downs. The first 4 albums, and then we broke up in the 90s. We got back together thanks to our friend Pat Martin in Sacramento in 2000. Had a bunch of ups and downs after that. Then we got Dave Rude to come in, and his positive attitude and energy and guitar playing, he's an amazing player, kept us going, man. Gave us hope. And we wrote more songs and made more albums and continue to work. And there's the key word right there. It takes a lot of work.
Right.
And most bands break up because they can't do the work. They don't want to do the work. So like most marriages, you've been married a long time. It takes a lot of work to keep those things together. You can't just give up. And the three of us, Brian, me, and Jeff Keith, we come from some pretty poverty upbringings. I'll be honest with you. We had to work really hard from the beginning. So we value everything that we've worked for, including Tesla.
Yeah.
We've worked hard to keep together this long. We're not going to let it, we're not going to give up on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there it is. That's the secret. Work.
Absolutely, man.
Sometimes you got to work on buttoning your lip and not freaking arguing about stupid shit.
Let's talk about Full Throttle Live. Brand new live album, recorded at Full Throttle Saloon in Sturgis. This is a cool set. It's different. It's a little bit deeper. We don't have Love Song on there, and it's something that you might not expect. A couple of deeper tracks, Breaking Free, Lazy Days, Crazy Nights. It's great. I love that. Those are the songs that you might not expect, but you want to hear. Was that intentional when you put the set list together?
Oh yeah, it was definitely intentional. Songs like Miles Away, Changes, Cold Blue Steel, and Time to Rock, those are our newer songs that are heavier. So yeah, it was definitely intentional, and it was intentional that we pulled it from Full Throttle Saloon, which is during Sturgis Bike Week. I'm a motorcycle enthusiast. I love bikes. And I knew that Tesla kicked ass that night. So we went back to the hard drive and pulled that show specifically on purpose and pulled those songs on purpose. And we went beyond that in the spirit of live albums. And we listened to Aerosmith Live Bootleg and picked the song SOS Too Bad and recorded that as a bonus track.
And it is great, man. Jeff's voice, especially, it just, man, he just nails that shit so well, man. It's incredible. And the video to go with it, filmed in your garage, right?
Yeah. We filmed that video in my garage. It's all live. Jeff's voice, yeah, you're right, man. He's such a natural gifted guy, man. He's like Steven Kyler's stepson.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's he's got that bite that song has. And to go with that set for Full Throttle Live, that is a perfect song because it is a little bit of a deeper track for Aerosmith as well. So it keeps with that theme for sure.
Well, thank you. Yeah, that was our intention, man. And one of the most rewarding things about being in a band or being a musician process with a team of people and a band and a crew and being on the road and in and out of airports and the lifestyle and the whole process of being a professional musician is definitely not easy. It gets back to what I was about work. But the most rewarding thing about work is when the goal happens. And we're very happy. Whether you sell 1 million records or not, it doesn't matter. We're very happy with the artistic product that we create with that live album and with the songs and with what we're doing now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's incredible, man. I mean, just the consistency in Tesla music is you're always, spot on, man. I mean, there's, I can't think of really anything that is less than great. And when you look at the catalog through the years, is that the same for you? I mean, a lot of artists look back at some of the older stuff they do and they cringe maybe, I wouldn't imagine you do that because this stuff is solid from the beginning.
Well, thank you, man. From the beginning, the older stuff I'm very proud of. So I don't cringe when I think of Mechanical Resonance or Love Song or Hang Tough or the 5-man acoustical jam. I don't cringe when I think of any of that stuff. I'm very happy with what we did from the beginning. I mean, but of course, there are some moments throughout a 40-year career. I mean, 40 years, not everything is going to be as a high point. We've had a lot of low points in our lives and careers. And, there's a couple things that me personally aren't favorites, but, I was going with the flow of different things and other people, it ebbs and flows.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I equate it like a surfer, man. Not every wave that you catch is going to be a big wave.
Right.
So you can swim back out there and you catch another one.
Yeah.
And, you'll have some, it's the way it is with music. Hey, the way it is, that's a song.
There you go. How about it, huh? Well, let's talk about some really old stuff. You remember this?
Oh, yeah. That first
Yeah.
we ever did.
Teenage Dream on here.
Yeah, there was an Instagram post recently where we were goofing around in the dressing room and we were singing Teenage Dream from that album.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
Yeah. I'm 15 years old when we recorded that there. That's our first recording that we did professionally.
You've mentored and produced a lot of great young talent. JT Lux comes to mind, Austin Moe. There's a bunch of stuff, Red Voodoo. Anybody recently? Are you still doing that? Do you still take in the younger artist? Are you or is that something that you put on hold?
There's so many young artists and talent out there that are so great, but right now I'm only focusing on Tesla and some of my own music, and I'm gonna be putting out a solo album hopefully by the end of this year. I've been writing an album. It's called Ride the Wind, and I've been working with T Lux. He's in Nashville. We developed him for about 5 years. He'll be releasing that soon. He's working with a great record label out there in a studio.
Cool. Yeah, JT's been on the show. He's a gentleman and what a player. He's excellent. When you write for your solo stuff, you got a tune out there, Octopus, massive. massive instrumental tune. Really cool. It's just great. The bass line, that Pink Floydish keyboard thing is just it's a killer tune. But I'm thinking about that and I'm like, do you write specific? Do you sit down and say, I'm gonna write a solo song? Or do you just like start to write? How's the writing process? Is it different from when you write for Tesla?
Oh yeah, it's very different at the end result. But I'm constantly having ideas and just jamming, and it's a constant flow of uh ideas. So like for example, you mentioned octopus. That was me just jamming an idea and improvising, and that thing sat on my hard drive for a couple years, and I was just going through my folders and I found it and I was like, oh yeah, that idea, that was really fun. And these days, as an independent artist, without having to rely on a label, you can do whatever you want. And I'm at a stage now where I'm going to do whatever I want. I'll put a song like Octopus.
Hmm?
I have a bunch of solo material that are ideas that I'm working on right now. I was just telling you about Ride the Wind that I'm working on, that's about all this flying I'm having to do. So I'm always got ideas. Now with Tesla, I'll have an idea and I'll present it to Jeff because he's the quarterback of that team.
Yeah.
And if Jeff, our singer, if his lights light up and he likes an idea that he hears me doing, then I'll save it for him. And then he and I will develop that together.
Okay.
But there's a lot of times where I'll have ideas and JK doesn't really like it. And I've learned that that's okay because I'll do something with it and I'll take it to somewhere else on my own and create it because I love writing lyrics myself. I'm not a very good singer, but I like to express myself with singing. And if Jeff doesn't like it, then I'll do it.
Yeah, and I dig it. You sound great. It's a different vibe. But what's great is the honesty and the respect that you guys have for each other to do that. He can say, "I don't love it," and it doesn't. You're not hurting feelings or anything like that. It's that's how the chemistry happens. And it's cool.
Yeah, musically at this point now, with the freedom that we have now, back in the old days, it was, everything was always definitely geared for Tesla and what Jeff Keith would feel good about singing. And that's great. That's what makes Tesla great.
Yeah.
Um,
So,
but all of us have, ideas that we want to do and the freedom to do it. And it all comes back down to being willing to work. And if you're a guitar player and you're an artist or producer or an aspiring musician, whether you're young or old, whatever, if you put the work into it, you can make it happen. You can make your visions happen. Anything's possible. And
awesome.
that's what I've discovered. And the older I get, the more I've tried to decide how I spend my time and how I'm going to do it and try to make a plan your work and work your plan. And luckily, that was something that we were taught very early on by one of our mentors. And in life, if you listen to mentors and you can learn from older people that have survived, you get these tools and you apply them to your life. And one of them was plan your work and then work your plan. That was something that was taught to me when I was very young by a mentor that I had. And
Yeah.
that's what enables me to survive this roller coaster ride.
It's worked out pretty well for you. It's very cool. Now you got 40 years coming up. You'll be celebrating 40 years with the band, right? Any plans or something you'd really like to do to celebrate?
Well, when that time comes, we'll definitely come up with a theme for the 40-year celebration, the anniversary.
Hmm?
But there's already plans in the works for 2024. I saw some tour dates in January. We're going to be in Florida doing the whole run of the Florida area. I saw in June some Texas shows. In May of 2024, I am planning to attend the Dallas International Guitar Festival. Um, I've got some guitars that I'm working on with some friends and some different things. And so I'm planning that far ahead right now for 2024. And Tesla's got plans. I've got plans. It's looking good.
It's great, man. It's great. I love seeing you out there. We love you. We love Tesla music. And it's great that you're active as you are. Thank you for that, for sure. Frank, I'll let you go too. I know you got a busy day.
Fun interview. Sorry about the cell service. Hopefully you can piece it together. And
Yeah,
I appreciate you. And when my new solo album comes out, we'll get back in touch with you and we'll talk some more about that.
thank you, Frank. Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Yeah, we'll do it. Talk to you soon.
All right.
All right.
Peace out.
Take care, bud.